Two seductresses. Two seductresses. Two seductresses.
Hey there, comic book fans. This is Steven here with Steven's Comics. I appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. It's going to be, of course, a nice little haul, and I might as well just get started with it. Alrighty. This first book here that I'm going to start with is New Mutants Annual number 2. If you don't know, this is the first U.S. appearance of Psylocke. Her first one being in Cap Britain 8, I think. This one's a little bit easier to get than that. Captain Britain 8 is a very difficult book to find, especially here in the States. Whereas New Mutants Annual 2, by this point, they were already selling pretty well. You can probably find a near mint copy for around $35, $40, but I don't expect that to last long, especially with the reception that Psylocke is getting in the new trailers and all the promos and everything that they're doing for the X-Men Apocalypse movie. So Psylocke is definitely on her way up. So if you haven't grabbed this yet and you're looking for it, now probably would be a better time than ever. Who knows what's going to happen with her character in the movie or what's going to happen in future movies, but it certainly looks like people are responding well to Psylocke so far. So, and I like her as a character too. She's great in the comics. If you haven't checked out certain runs, like especially that Uncanny X-Force run by Remender, it really defined who she is right now as a character and gave you a lot of depth and insight into what's going on in her head. And she's also got that whole story involving the Hand and just the whole change from Elizabeth Braddock, the English version, into the Asian assassin version. So there's a lot going on with that character, and there's a ton of storyline, and I don't know. I would put her in top 15 X-Men, so, and out of all the X-Men, I think that's pretty good. Anyways, let's just keep going before I say something even more stupid. Let's go to this. Now I've shown, this is a Captain America 25, this is the variant edition. I've shown some Cap 25 before just because with Civil War very close, who knows what's going to happen. Is he going to die in the movie? Probably not, but right now Cap 25 is also rising up in price a little bit. And I didn't have this variant because when it first came out, I remember just thinking, this is kind of ugly, too bulky, you know. But the more I looked at it, the more I started to appreciate it. And if you compare it to the print run of Cover A, this variant seems like it would be impossible to find. It's not, obviously. It's all over eBay, but the first cover has got a huge print run for the time, so. And then I picked up a big stack of the second edition. Just because this cover here, I don't know. Especially with the all-white, it'll be hard to find this in 9.8. I got this super cheap. I paid $1 a piece for these. I picked up 5 or 6 of them. And you never know, especially with the way second prints are kind of rising up in prices lately, too. And especially that it's not the same cover image that they used on the first cover. Although I really do like that bloody glove on the first cover. But I picked up that, and then I think I picked up a director's cut, I think it's called. And then the only one left is, I think there's a Wizards variant, or like a Wizards Con variant. Let's move on to something else. This is Wolverine 88. Now this is the first time that, I think it's the first time that Wolverine and Deadpool met up. It's definitely the first time that Deadpool was on the Wolverine cover. You can find this still pretty cheap, $3, $4, $5, $6, but it is also rising. It had a little bump when Hugh Jackman did that little promo for the Deadpool movie. If they end up coming together to make a movie together, Wolverine and Deadpool that is, these copies are certainly going to rise even higher than they are. I think it's pretty iconic cover too. Not really a fan of whoever drew Deadpool there. I feel like they almost started with a Wolverine image and then, I don't know. Then they decided to make it into Deadpool. I don't know what the heck's going on with these muscles, but now the more that I look at it, it's pretty ugly. But it's been iconic from my childhood at least. I always used to see these on the walls in shops. And then these are a couple hidden gems that they got. This is Wolverine 99 Annual. This is a really cool Deadpool Wolverine story. I picked up a bunch of Wolverine and Deadpool stuff off of one seller on Facebook, and he sold it to me really cheap, and he grades super tight. So when he said near mint, these are like precisely near mint. I don't know how he stored them and shipped them so well, but they arrived without any dings. Here's another one. This is Wolverine 155. This is an homage that Rob Liefeld, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Rob did of his, what is it, Hulk 340? Maybe it's 341? One of those two. But the Hulk image with Hulk and Wolverine and the reflection stuff. Now, this one's not obviously as in demand as the Hulk one is. But just like all these other Wolverine books, the more that Deadpool and Wolverine interact with each other in other media, the better these values, or the higher these values are going to rise. So, and I think it's a really cool story too. If you have Marvel Unlimited or anything like that, you should go check out these stories. They were a lot more gruesome back in the day. Deadpool and Wolverine were definitely violent. And, I did that backwards. I don't know why I showed 155 first. This one's 154. This is the start of the Deadpool Wolverine story. Pretty cool cover too. Liefeld again. As you can see, there's no feet for him to mess up on, so just nice bulky muscles. No tiny legs for him to draw inaccurately. So, yeah. I'm pretty big on the Deadpool and the Liefeld stuff right now. Maybe it's just the hype from all the movie and stuff like that. Ooh. Let's start with number one for this too. Why not? Might as well stop going backwards right now. This is a Deadpool versus Thanos number one. This is what is this? The Diamond Retailer Summit 2015 variant. I got this off of TFAW for pretty cheap, and then it sold out. The demand's not really there right now, but as far as rare Deadpool variants go, this one's pretty rare. Especially compared to like the 1 in 25s and whatnot. But I just think that there's an oversaturation of Deadpool right now, so I don't have high hopes that this would ever be that sought after. They're nice looking covers, and that's for sure. Maybe, I picked up all the regular covers too, just because I pick up a lot of Deadpool. But maybe when the movie comes out, I should just unload them or something, or throw them up on Facebook and just see if there's any want right now for these. Definitely cool covers, definitely cool art. And the Deadpool versus Thanos story is also pretty good, so. Now we will go to some more Deadpool stuff. Why not? Now, I wanted the What If Venom Possessed Deadpool story. They have just a what if that ties all of these backup stories into one book. But, I mean, you're paying $300 for a reprint, so I figured I might as well just go after the actual individual titles. Because you also get pretty cool what if stories about Iron Man, Wolverine, Spider-Man, stuff like that, the Dark Reign storyline and all that, so. This is the first one. This is What If Iron Man Demon in an Armor. Now, this is the first part 1 of 4 from the Deadpool versus Venom, or not Deadpool versus, What If Venom Possessed Deadpool storyline. And as far as, like, hot books go, the What If Venom Possessed Deadpool story kind of sucked. Like, it's not funny, it's not. There's a lot of crappy Deadpool stories out there, just because they throw him in a lot, just because he sells books. And I'm glad I didn't pay the $300 for the What If Venom possessed Deadpool, because really it's not that great. It's definitely not a key. I don't know why it's just got Venom and Deadpool. So obviously it's going to be sought after in the aftermarket. So this one is What If Wolverine Father. Now the actual original story of this Wolverine Father, that's pretty good. I'm not sure. I don't recognize these writers. We got Rob Williams, Greg Tocchini, and Chris Sotomayor. They almost sound familiar, but I need to get better on my knowledge of who's writing what books. And this is another great one where the first story was actually pretty good, and then it just goes into this needless What If Venom Deadpool story. So this is Amazing Spider-Man What If from the Grim Hunt. And it tells a really cool story. This Spider-Man story is definitely the best one out of all these what ifs. So, and then this last one I'll show, this one is part 4 from the What If Venom Possessed Deadpool. And I paid, I think, $40 or $50 for all 4 books, which is way more than I normally like to pay for moderns, but they are not in any shops around here. These were eaten up. What Ifs usually have a lower print run, and then this is also at a time when Marvel itself wasn't printing as much. Like, they've started to pick up steam again and go back to a little bit higher print runs. These were probably, I didn't even look them up, but I imagine they're probably in the 30s, 40,000s, if that, for some of them. But anyways, I paid a good price for these, and then when I got it in, I looked at this corner, and it is beat up. It's from a seller that I trust pretty well. I picked up a couple sets off of him, and I emailed him, and he kind of was just a dick. He's just like, they must have got shipped that way. I can offer you a $5 refund. Now, $5 when you pay $50? I should have just sent him back, but I didn't think I was going to find him again for that cheap. I don't even think I paid $50. I probably paid like $30, so I don't know. But let's get into some newer books here. This one's sought after. I imagine it's shown in a couple videos lately. This is Batman Detective Comics number 49. This is the Neil Adams variant. As far as Batman books go, Detective Comics has a little bit more than half of the print run that the regular Batman story gets. So we're talking 45,000 copies, anywhere around that. And to have a split cover, that means this probably has less than 25,000. Probably less than 20,000. Just the way that shops have been ordering lately, I've noticed through print runs. And so to have an iconic cover with Neil Adams, doing an homage to Neil Adams, who I think originally this was even an homage to one of the Bob Kane stories, right? I think. But it's pretty cool. It's a new take on this, with Joker now being in the background, and of course they added Harley Quinn because she sells books. But this is a sought-after variant. My shop, who normally, when it comes to split covers, will have 50-50, maybe 60-40. This one had one of these, and all the rest was the regular cover. I'm not sure how it compares other places around the country, but from the few people that I talked to through the Google Plus pages or on Facebook or on the CGC forums, they're saying that this also was a little bit hard to come by. I have seen pictures where people have 10 of them or something, so I'm not expecting you to pay off of your mortgage or your car with this variant, but you'll probably be able to double or triple it, maybe even more in time. I can see this being a sought-after book. First one, obviously, it's, 60, 70 years? No, probably like 50, probably about 50 years ago the other one came out, right? I can't remember. I should have looked up the dates, and that one demands a very high price. So, and you know what? There's probably more copies of that, though, floating around than this, to be honest. So we'll have to see. I imagine a lot of people will pick it up. There's a lot of Harley fans out there, and a lot of people that pick up anytime they see Joker on a cover. So, and I just picked it up before I knew about the hype. I thought, hey, Neil Adams, he's one of my favorite. He does great. And when I was at the shop yesterday, I also saw that they had the Jock variant for Batman Europa #4. And I was reading these digitally, but I figured if I'm going to pick up that variant, I might as well at least pick up the rest of the set. It's a really good Batman story. I'm huge into Batman right now. Lately, I'll spend my breaks at work. Either I've flipped through Year One the other night, and then Dark Knight Returns, and Hush. Just really iconic Batman stories. And this is also another one that I think is going to be thought as a classic story in the future. The first issue, this one, Batman Europa, it's got a print run a little bit over 80,000. So, and when you compare that to like Dark Knight 3, which has 450,000 copies floating around, obviously Batman is probably the top tier superhero, the top tier comic. Probably sells better than anybody, probably more than Deadpool and Harley, and obviously more than Spider-Man or Superman, X-Men, Avengers. He's always in the top 5, especially compared to, when you're looking at like just DC books, he outnumbers all the rest in their print runs by a very large margin. So you got 80,000 copies for #1, but then I'm not sure what retailers were thinking because it dropped down pretty fast. I think the next #2 maybe had like 55,000. So that leaves 25,000 people that might get their hands on #1, scrambling to try and find #2, #3, #4. And so if you look at #4, I haven't, obviously the print run number isn't out on that yet, but if you look at it, it being a 1 in 25 of a sought after artist, that book has legs. I'm telling you right now, I got it. I bought one for cover price at the shop, and then I also got one for $11, I think, on eBay. 11 plus shipping. Just because I think that it's one of those books. If you look at other Jock variants, he obviously has a community of people that follow him and enjoy his art. I've heard some people saying it's not his best art, but I'm really glad that once I'll show #4, I'll talk more about it, but let me get back to Batman Europa. Really cool story. When it was first solicited, I was under the impression, I guess, that Jim Lee was doing the art, but I'm not sure what happened there, but it's really good art. It's detailed. It's not... I'm colorblind, so sometimes I'll be reading books and everything just kind of morphs into one ugly mess, and that's why I end up just reading all the dialogue and the storyline, because and spend 10% of the time only looking at the art, because it's usually a mess. But these books especially were fantastic as far as art goes. Clear, I could understand panel to panel. There was no confusion as to what the heck, where my eyes should go next. So I appreciate that. Anyways, let's get to this last book here. So we started with those first 3 at Batman Europa, and we'll go to #4. This is the 1 in 25 Jock variant. So they had it marked at 10. They gave it to me at cover, though, because I'm an idiot and I give my whole paycheck to my comic shops. I'm not an idiot, but I guess I am an idiot. I have a very huge comic addiction right now. Trying to take care of that. I suppose these videos aren't helping. But we'll look at this Jock variant. This is a 1 in 25. It's got a Joker on the cover. I'm going to guess, looking at the print run for 2 and 3, that there's probably less than 2,500 of these out there. And so as far as Jock variants go, that's a pretty low number. As far as Batman books go, that's a very low number. Like I said, he's a sought-after character. So if you can find this book for under 30, I say pick it up right now. I don't see many on eBay. Usually by the next day, by Thursday, there's a billion copies of every book because people get home from their shops and they start unloading and they start undercutting prices and prices start to dip. But not with this book. I've seen maybe 4 or 5 so far. And live auctions, that's what I'm talking about right now. There's probably 4 or 5 right there on eBay right now. And I'd say 4 out of the 5 are probably under 30. And like I said, I also picked up 2 copies myself, and I try not to do that, especially on new release variants, because the variant market is so volatile that you never know what's going to happen from one day to the next, especially like on hot new books that people are just, it's just that hype machine where all of a sudden people are paying $25, $30 for a book that came out hours ago, and by next Wednesday the book has returned down to earth level prices, and a lot of people just wasted $15. You could have waited a week instead of spending $25 and got a book for $10. But like I said, with this variant, I don't think that'll be the case. I think this will just continue to grow. I also appreciate that if you've seen the solicited art for this, the Joker image, he was a lot more comical. The colors were a little bit lighter. It just made everything have a lighter tone to it. But then the colorist, or I don't know if it was the original colorist or if it was a new colorist, came in. He darkened the eyes, he darkened the colors, just made it more menacing, and I appreciate that he did, because I think it makes it a lot more iconic. And this will be a cover that, like I said, will be in demand. Alright, I appreciate your time. This is a kind of a long video. I don't normally go this long. If you're still with me right now, in the next week or 2, like I said in my last video, I'm trying to do a very long video, 1 or 2, showing 400 books. I can't decide. I've either got 2 lots, well, a decision to make between 2 things. Should I either leave this in the comments, should I either show videos dealing with only Avengers and X-Men, or should I show some videos, either way I'm going to show at least 400 books, or should I show a video dealing with X-Force, X-Factor, other Avengers teams? You decide. Do you want just the classic X-Men and Avengers, and I'll go through and I'll tell you what's going on in the stories, and I'll show you my collection, and I'll let you look at the spines and the spine rolls and the corners and the dents and the color-breaking creases? Or do you want me to just show you the books and just go, 1, this is issue 2, this is issue 3? Let me know. Obviously, depends on how much time you're willing to take to watch the videos. So, once again, I appreciate your time in watching this video. If you haven't had the chance to check out some of the other great channels, I really recommend channels like Philly Cuts Productions. I like We Love Comics. A lot of the channels I've seen have slowed down a lot. Mercenaut's not posting as much. Lightning hasn't posted in months. Jimmy C is posting a lot lately, but even his haul videos, they're not as expansive as they used to be. He used to get really into detail. He'd show like 30 books, and I really appreciate Jimmy C's videos. Maybe it's just the New York accent, just that in-your-face attitude that he gives, the Jimmy C. Price, and all that. He's just got a show. Mercenaut's got a show, obviously, with his videos. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, I guess I'll just end it there before this video runs 25 minutes. Thank you for checking out Steven's Comics. Let me know if there's anything you like. If you don't like something, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, share. Just get in touch with me. I enjoy talking comics. I have other interests in life too. I will talk to you about cartoons and sports and TV and anything and everything. I guess I'm just a lonely person just trying to find a friend out there. Alright, have a wonderful day and enjoy your comics.